our guest of honor, and let's hear from her. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you all? We're just so honored today that we've gathered here. But here, we feel the Mahatma himself is here with us because we've had his great-grandson right here. He's come all the way from South Africa, and I think you all want to hear him speak a little bit, right? So before we start the walk, I'm going to invite Mr. Satish Dhupelia to please come here and address everybody before we start the walk, because to us, you're the closest to Mahatma Gandhi.
Thank you very much. I must tell you that I stand here with so many mixed feelings. The first feeling that I have is with joy and appreciation. Joy and appreciation because yesterday was the International Day of Non-Violence, Gandhiji's birthday, and I don't think it went in America noticed, but right here in this suburb, it was celebrated. It was observed. And I know that this committee is going to make sure that the rest of America takes note that Gandhiji belongs to the world and that everybody should be recognizing this day, the International Day of Nonviolence, and his birthday and his philosophies. So I'm encouraging people to say, talk to your media, talk to people around you. It should be done in schools as well, so that there's a great amount of education that goes out to our youth. Now, in meeting a number of people, first of all, I want to say, you have a great committee. They've done fantastic work, and they can only do that work with your support. So between the community and the committee, I think we've got two great groups of people over here, and you really are fantastic, because this would never have happened without the support of the people. Now, in taking photographs with a number of people, I've met some who talk to me, and some who just come and stand next to me, because they're very shy. And I want to tell you, don't ever judge anybody who stands next to you and doesn't talk. I talked to some of those that didn't talk back to me, simply because I remember that when Gandhiji was in school and I read his life story, it said that sometimes he ran away from school because he didn't want to talk to people. Immediately our school ended, he ran home because he did not want to socialize with the kids. He was super shy. When he was a barrister, he said that his legs trembled when he had to interview and interrogate people on the witness stand. So he was a shy man. Later on, he became the man who could talk to the world. So when you meet somebody who's shy, don't judge them. You could be talking to a great soul. Remember that. Since we're talking about judging people, I must ask you a few questions. I'm sorry, I'm an ex-teacher, so I ask questions. Would you look at a leader? Who would you elect as a leader? Somebody who's a vegetarian and somebody who's been loyal to his wife? Or somebody who has smoked incessantly all his life and been divorced 2 or 3 times and had very bad management of funds? So those are 2 candidates. And then you get a 3rd candidate who spent 2,338 days in jail. Who would you elect as a leader? None of them? Or one, or the vegetarian? Or who would you elect? The last one. You know your history. Now let me tell you who I was talking about. The person who smoked and divorced his wife and had very poor financial management was Winston Churchill. You know that?
Yeah.
The person who was a vegetarian and loyal to his wife was Hitler. And the person who spent 2,388 days in jail was Bapuji. And Bapuji he had a great sense of humor. Because when somebody asked him, what is it like to be in jail? He said, I get the best bargains when I'm in jail. People come and offer me discounts. So, now I see a lot of people have been taking photographs over the last 2 or 3 days. And Bapuji had a very interesting quotation on photographers and reporters. He said, I believe in equality for everybody, except for reporters and photographers. Now, of course, just for the photographers and reporters, don't get offended, because it could mean that he thought you were more equal than people, or less. I leave it to you to decide which one. Okay. Since we are doing this walk today, we should think about what Bapuji said about this kind of walk. He called walking the prince of exercise. And he said that he was able to participate in all these activities of protest marches, etc., simply because he had done a lot of walking. When he was in London, to save money, he walked from his residence to the place that he studied in. And it was a great walk, it was a long walk, and that kept him fit, etc. When I said this at one particular meeting to people, a lady put her hand up and she said, I encourage my husband to go walking. But you know what? He keeps coming back. Now, Gandhiji had some very funny sayings and he was a very interesting person. The first time he spoke to the United States was via radio. He was in London and a USA reporter came and did this entire big cable hookup so that they could talk to the United States. And he switched on the microphone, and it was one of those huge microphones that block your face. If you've seen pictures of the old microphones in those days, that was what it was. So Gandhiji was sitting down there across that microphone, and the reporter said, we are ready. And the first words that Americans heard from Bapuji is, do you know what he said? It wasn't namaste, it wasn't I bring you peace and non-violence. He asked the reporter, do I have to talk into this thing? And the whole of the United States heard that. Do I have to speak into this thing? So it was quite funny because one would have expected his first words to be something that you would remember forever. But I think, do I have to talk into this thing is also something that you remember forever. Now, there's an interesting fact. Jesus Christ was crucified on a Friday. You all know that.
Yeah.
Bapuji was born on a Friday. India got its independence on a Friday, and Bapuji was shot on a Friday. It's amazing about Fridays, isn't that so? Well, I'm happy that I'm standing here because it's Saturday, so nobody's going to shoot me. Now, Bapuji always said that he is not strange. He said, in fact, I am not strange, but I am not normal. And the reason he said that is one day he was on a train and his shoe fell between the gap of the station, the platform and the train. And people looked at him because you can't kneel down to get it. So he took his other shoe off and he threw it there. And people said, Bapuji, what are you doing? He said, well, how am I going to walk with one shoe? And how is the person who finds that one shoe going to walk with the one shoe? So I'd rather throw the other shoe there so that he has a pair of shoes to walk with. I don't like making long speeches, so I want to end by complimenting you. I feel the spirit of Bapuji is here. I'm so pleased that we have the mayor involved. You had a lawmaker that came yesterday, we met her, and your committee is engaging with a number of people. And the reason I am pleased to see this here is because I know that this committee is going to be the spark that is going to ignite America to take the name of Gandhi and to take his philosophy forward. It's not been done before. We have Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who used his philosophy to attain freedom for those who were being racially oppressed. But for a while, it's been forgotten. This committee, led by such good people, has started that spark. And I can see the enthusiasm in you. And if they can put the enthusiasm in you, they're going to put it in the rest of America. And the next time I come here, I expect to hear that there are celebrations throughout the city at different points and throughout the country. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much. I want to thank you for your hospitality. I feel like I'm departing from family. So I am, as I said at the beginning, I have mixed feelings. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you are doing such great work, but I'm so sad that I'm leaving. But when I say I'm leaving, in Hindi we say Fir Milenge, which means I will see you again. And I hope that I certainly will see you again. Thank you very much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, and we also, all of us, do hope that we're going to see you again. Really appreciate you being here all the way.